everyone! I'm your Dungeon Master, Jax Ebert, and welcome back to Dungeons & Dread, a show where we combine D&D 5e with the other role-playing game, Dread. I've got my players back here. We've got our three players, Gajeel, Jareth, and Veil of Shadows. Guys, glad to be back. Once again, just a couple announcements. The sounds you'll be hearing in the background are created by Michael Ghelfi. He runs the channel RPG Sounds and Ambiences here on YouTube. His content is very well made, so please support him and his work. Links to his channel and Patreon are in the description below. And I believe that's all of our announcements. So, fellas, last we left off after a pretty tense kind of mud wrestling adventure last time. Pretty high stakes for a moment. Had several hordes of these, you deemed them swampies, swarming you, these undead coming up through the swamps, your previous battle having drawn their attention, and you managed with the members of the Fletching and Rendralian managed to hold them off. While some type of magic circle was made, you stepped into the circle and were immediately transported elsewhere to your location. You were trying to reach the Mist Vale. After a bit of some arguing and some intense discussions, you found a kind of uneasy going kind of peace between yourselves and the Fletching and Rendralian and yourselves, and took shelter inside. There's a small cave behind a waterfall amidst the mist and a fiercest frost. No, anyway, Shakespeare reference, sorry. So, while
it went completely over my head.
I was like, I cut off the joke, but I was like, I should have gone with it because no one's gonna get it. Okay, anyway, we love being. This is why we majored in theater. So anyway,
nerd.
Are theater people called nerds? Okay,
Geek. There, that better.
Okay, there.
That's close enough.
Thank you, sir. So, last we left off, you guys had kind of cleaned up, and some of you went straight to bed, had your wounds tended to, had some brief conversations with members of the Fletching. Veil did a bit of observation and conversation, and eventually you all found yourselves in a small tent inside this safe and warm cave enclosure, found yourselves asleep. As you are all sleeping, Veil.
Oi.
As your eyes eventually get heavy enough and they close, you're kind of in a nice deep kind of sleep when you hear a slight ringing to your cat-like ears that kind of perks them up, and you feel your eyes opening, and you look over and you see, kind of at the edge of the tent, you see the back of a figure. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. Also, real quick, can you tell me what the name of that one guy I met was? I forgot his name.
Of course. His name is Dizzen.
Dizzen. How do you spell that?
Dizz.
Discount.
Like Dizzen. Like you dizzy and you in.
I don't see this person. Yeah, I've got a 3.
Okay. You see this figure kind of sitting at the edge of your tent, and you note that there's a bright light kind of shining that's kind of front lighting them, kind of almost giving off a silhouette. And you don't recognize who it is, but you do recognize a sound, this very melodic ringing sound, very even sound that you hear, and it immediately brings you a bit of a sense of peace as you look forward and you recognize the sound of a singing bowl that you hear as it is played softly. You hear the kind of constant ring going past your ears, and you watch as the figure kind of turns to you, and you watch as there's kind of a nod, and it keeps going.
Can I get up and am I mobile? Can I move?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'd like to go to the tent flap and see what is up.
Okay. As you step towards it, you open it and you feel the warm breeze hit you as you see before you a vast kind of ocean spreading out. Beach, you feel your feet now in the sand as you're apparently on a beach, and you kind of see the sun is setting and its bright rays are kind of going past you, and you turn and you see sitting there, looking up at you with a simple smile. You see your father sitting there, playing this singing bowl, as he looks at you and he gestures for you to sit by him.
Father? And I'm going to sort of come very close to him and sit down.
As you sit down, you feel your eyelids getting heavy as you look towards him, and you watch as you see your father's face once more, looking at you, smiling, and then your eyes open once more, and you hear it first. You hear the sound of a very familiar sound at this point of Jareth and Gajeel snoring quite loudly. Great job, guys. Thanks for that sound cue.
That is not a singing bowl. Oh. I'm going to lay my head back down and just be like, oh, what an experience that was.
I'll say eventually the two of you, Gajeel and Jareth, find yourselves waking up. As you guys kind of start to rouse in the tent, is there anything you'd like to do?
I'm just gonna stretch out and kind of embrace the day,
Okay. As you go to stand up, the tent's a little small, so you kind of have to duck your head as you got to half stand up, Gajeel.
While I'm here, I might as well make use of the facilities. And Jareth's gonna stand up, actually take his pack. What time is it about? Or can I tell since we're in the cave?
You can't really tell. You probably have to.
I'm gonna walk outside the tent. Is there any activity?
As you open up the tent flap, you immediately watch as your hand almost kind of rushes just overhead of a short figure that's like, "What? Hey,
It's you.
watch it." And you think you. Jeez. Okay. Hey. So. Just want to let you know, the Arch wants to see you after you get some brekkie. So just head to the big one when you get a chance. Don't hit people. Don't freaking do that. That's not.
I didn't hit you. I do have a question for you though.
Yeah. What?
Before I go see your boss.
The Arch.
Yeah, he's your boss. But anyway, before I go see him, Mr. Indralian, I have a little project I'd like to get started on. Do you have any kind of forge facilities in here?
I mean, it's not much of a forge, but I mean, yeah.
You got a fire and an anvil?
You can call it that. I mean, it's pretty. I'm gonna be honest. It's really, really bad. Like it's pretty awful. But I mean, if you
can make do with it.
Oh, you're a smith. Hey, wow. You're flashy with the tools, flashy with your hands, just flashy in general, aren't you? Big, tall man.
If you could just lead me there, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's right over there, Princess. And you watch as he kind of points over, and you see that it's not currently lit, but you see a kind of very crude. It's not an anvil. It's more like a crude kind of metal block. You see some tools and a big bucket of water, and you gather probably an oil quench as well that is nearby, and some assorted tools kind of laying around.
I'd like to go over there, and I'm going to take out my smith's tools, my own personal ones. I'm going to take out the bar of silver that I had. I'm going to try and start the forge a little bit.
Okay.
So is there like an actual forge built inside of some sort of a brick housing, or is it just a fire, just a flat fire?
Looking around, you see there's kind of like a small chimenea
Gotcha.
that you see it's been kind of hollowed out, and there is some ashes in there. If you want to try and.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there and try and start the fire and get it going.
Go ahead. So you don't need to roll to start it, but what is your intent? What is your intent?
I want to melt the silver bar that I have, and I'd like to coat my axe blade in it. Given that we've experienced some foul creatures, a little more mysterious in terms of origin, and they don't seem to respond well to natural, normal weapons. But I know that, folklore-wise, silver has properties that can
Yeah.
defeat these beings. So
Smart thinking there. Yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of experience, you guys are level 5, by the way.
Oh,
if you didn't know that.
I did not know
Please
that.
adjust those while.
I'll adjust that as I'm, smithing away. So what I'd like to do is take my little cup that I stole from the village, Woodage. I stole from my good pal there. So I'm going to use that cup, and I'm going to try and melt the silver bar in it. Just sit there at the fire with the tongs and the cup.
Okay.
Wait until it melts. If it melts, then that's great. If not, then, well, I'm screwed. So does it melt?
Go ahead. We'll say for this process, it's gonna. Again, I am not a blacksmith. I can tell you where to buy a sword. I've done my research on that, but I'm not a blacksmith. But I will say this process. I'm just gonna say takes like, let's say an hour.
This would be a
or
good
so.
3 hour long process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know better than I do. So it'd be about, let's say, take you better part of the morning.
Yeah.
You're going to be working on this. Go ahead and make a, I'll say make a, your choice, strength or dexterity check. You can add your proficiency to this because you're proficient with blacksmith's tools.
It's very much a dex check.
Dex, okay.
I'd say because.
So make a dexterity check. You'll add your dexterity and your proficiency.
All right, here we go. That's not bad. That's a 14.
14. Okay. I'll say with that you have the materials. You have the time. You you have just enough silver to coat it.
Yes.
Any less, probably wouldn't have been able to. But with your skills and though the facilities here are crude, you managed to create what you are wanting to. So you have a axe blade that is now coated with silver.
That'll work. That's what I like. And so with that, he'll go back and rejoin his.
At this point, as you kind of notice now, you see there's a small group that has gathered to kind of watch you work, and you watch as you finish. You watch several of them kind of nod their heads, and you see a couple people appear to exchange coins or something, and then they kind of step away, and a couple of them nod to you like,
"What in the hell was that about? You're all taking bits."
And he watches they're kind of wandering off at this point, but
he's gonna gather up his tools and start rocking over to them.
Okay. So while he was doing this in the morning, what are Gajil and Vale, what were you guys up to?
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'm just sitting outside, kind of enjoying the cave.
Okay. I actually would like to do something, if that would be okay. First, I'm going to get out of the tent, do some calisthenics. Calisthenics, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to get those in there. I want to go and I want to find. I see Jareth, and I want to find the one called Nibs. I don't know if I've been told his name, but I know my player does. So.
Okay. So you go to find Nibs. He is. I'll say at this point, after kind of talking with Jareth, you follow him over. There's a kind of a small assembly line around the big kind of main fire. There's breakfast being made, bacon, and you see loaves of bread are being made over the fire. There's kind of a small gathering there. Some people are making breakfast, some people still be sleeping in. You see Jareth is hammering away on something, a small crowd gathering to watch him.
Okay. All right. I do have a quick question. Before I start in engaging with this fellow, I wanted to ask, would I have seen any one of his kind coming into the continent anywhere, or are they very isolated?
I'll say you've seen halflings. They're fairly common.
Okay.
You haven't really seen a gnomish figure per se. They're very similar to halflings, but their build is just a little bit smaller, a little more wiry, and their ears are pointed, and their cheekbones are just a little bit higher. They have their features just very halfling, but rather than stout and dwarf-like, it's more lithe and nimble.
Okay, all right. I want to walk up to Nibs, and I want to smile in the way that I do, and big toothy smile, and I want to say, hello.
And you see he's got a mouthful of bacon. No, what? What do you want?
I'm going to. Is there anything to lean on? I don't know.
He's currently there's kind of like a triangle of bigger logs that have been felled to sit on.
Then if that's the case, I'm just going to put my hands behind my back, and I want to sort of crouch, to make eye level with him. And what are you per se?
Hungry? What are you?
Well, I'm curious. I'm gonna like examine him just a little bit, and I want to be like, are you a halfling?
You watch as he just kind of look. He kind of narrows his eyes at you. Who's asking?
I am, but I was very curious because you're not like any halfling I saw when I came to the continent.
You know what they say about curiosity, right?
Yes, you learn.
Make a persuasion check.
That's pretty good. That was pretty good.
That's not bad. Oh yeah. Let's see. You said persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
18.
19, good. Yeah, the teacher side of me really liked that. So I was like,
Yeah.
go get him, kids. Okay. You watch as he kind of lets out of a, okay, cat.
I just find you interesting because I am sort of out of place in this land too.
Welcome to the club.
Yes.
Well, look, if you feel misplaced, you come to the right place. Okay, so if you're just curious,
Yes,
I'm called I'm a gnome. And you met another gnome before? You watch as his eyes kind of narrow.
I don't think I would have. Would I? I don't think I
You
would
would
have. No. No, I don't. That's why I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay. Well,
I do have some questions for you though.
okay. Well, can I why don't you? It's weird, like eating in front of people. You go get food and come sit and we'll chat.
Okay, I'm going to go grab. What type of food is there?
There's bacon, bread. You see some people are trying to kind of fry up some eggs.
Is there fish of any kind?
You do not see any fish.
This is tragic.
Oh.
Tragedy.
Oh.
Okay. I guess. Are there any eggs of any kind?
There's a few. There's some like smaller. You're not really familiar with what kind of eggs they are.
You know, I am open to trying new things that are not cheese or bread. I'm going to take that.
I have this running theory in my head that Vale is very, very lactose intolerant.
Gina is the only milk I can drink.
Okay, so so you get some breakfast, cooked eggs, and make your way back to Nibs, who is finishing his breakfast at this point.
Yes. I don't know if now is a good time. I come back with something to eat.
Well, I just finished a very, very good set of bacon, so you got my attention for a moment. You watch, he kind of leans back, and you see he's got his hand is kind of on his stomach. He looks very content. It was a good breakfast.
Okay, I want to do a quick investigation of the area, real quick with my eyes, and I want to see: is this place look like it's been lived in, or is it like a camp that was set up like recently, or like?
Make an investigation check.
Yes. That's not bad either. No, that's a 14.
14. With that, you would look up and you would see that there are the top of the ceiling is very dark. You see that fires have been lit here for a while. You see that a lot of the tents that are up here, there aren't any. They are secured into the ground. There are lashings, but they are not like temporary lashings. So in Boy Scout, I would say there's not any. It's not like 2/2 hitch and then into like taut line. It's just they're just tied to the stake and they appear to be staying here. With purpose.
Okay. I just noticed that it is a very, very nice camp that you have here. Very atmospheric. But I wanted to ask if this is a camp, then are you from someplace?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty cozy here. It's just Clover's better than, some of the other ones that I hear. But I mean, where I'm from is not really that important.
Oh, come on! I'll tell you. I'll tell you where I'm from if you tell me where you're from.
You watch his eyes kind of perk up. Okay. You got yourself a deal.
Yes. All right. My land is far, far away to the west. It is a land called the Thousand Sands. There are kingdoms there. My particular home is in a city-state. We live near a river called the Hayako River, and it is a very, very beautiful place. My family and I live there, or we did at least. Towards the western coast is where my monastery is, which is the monastery of the Open Claw. Very, very, very beautiful location. There's a little port, very quaint, and they have the most beautiful fish there. They catch long ones, small ones, some with scales, some that are wide and pudgy, but very strong. And that is where I am from. I came to this land and it's nothing like where I am from.
Wow, that sounds pretty dreamy, almost too good to be true.
Well, it is home.
Well, I was originally based out of a place called Altare.
How do you spell that?
Just
It's spelled H-A-U.
H-A-U, okay.
L-T-A-U.
A-U
R-E.
R-E.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Alright, that is a very interesting sounding name.
Yeah, it's alright. It's overrated, to be honest. It's further up north. Trees get real big, and they kind of... Well, let's just say the architecture is real interesting and very organic.
Oh, organic.
Mm-hmm.
The homes where I'm from are very inorganic. Are all of you from this place, or is it just you?
No, where? And you see, you kind of rolls over. No, you're gonna tell me Phoebes over here is from Altare.
Who's Phoebes? I'm gonna look at where he's pointing.
You look over and you kind of see like a heavier set looking kind of dwarf that is kind of laying back and has several half-eaten loaves of bread on his tummy.
He does not look like he's from an organic home.
You're telling me. He'd probably break a tree rather than standing.
I see.
No, we're kind of from all over.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, kind of all different birds, different feathers.
Does your organization do something? Are you an army, a group?
More like we'll say we're kind of like the scraps. He actually kind of sits up a little bit and he leans over on one arm. We're kind of like the scraps. We're the throwaways. What
I'm going to eat my eggs.
while you're talking. We're what society kind of tosses out, and we don't got a lot, but we got each other, and we're all very different. Like I said, birds of many feathers, but we're all bound with one aim, one goal.
Oh, it is very interesting. Oh. I was just curious because you've been so generous in allowing us to stay here. I thought I would at least know if you weren't some mercenary army or something. But it puts my nerves at ease very much.
Yeah.
You're very frightening and intimidating.
Well, all this flattery is very nice, but I think you should probably go talk to Archman before he...
Archman?
Rindrai, he's so... he's real particular, about certain... I mean, we all are, let's be honest. But he's real particular about certain things. He's the archer of this group. He's the leader, So
okay. I see.
We call him the arch.
He's the chief man.
More... He pulls the strings.
Oh, he is the string-pulling chief man.
Yeah, I guess that's the way to put it.
All right.
But anyway, any more information is going to cost you. And you watch as his eyes kind of narrow.
Oh well, I'll be sure to have something if I come back with other questions. It was a
Yeah.
very insightful conversation.
Yeah, hopefully next time it'll be an equal exchange.
Perhaps I would say that it was a fun time. We had, I would call it equal. Would you not? I think we both had fun.
Yeah, hey, humor me with a question, Cat.
Yes.
Plan on sticking around?
Well, that is what we'll find out here in a few hours.
Okay. Well, I should.
I would stay around for your company, though. You are very fun.
Don't push it, Cat. Okay. And you watch as he kind of gets up. You watch as he stretches and appears to kind of walk off. And as he walks off, Gajito, we cut to you. What are you doing, sir?
I am sitting outside of the tent, and I am just enjoying the cave morning.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for everyone to come back.
Okay.
Honestly, there's nothing he really wants to do.
Just as you're waiting for everyone, you hear the kind of rhythmic ting, 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 tsh, of Jareth, who's apparently working on something. We'll say just kind of with timing wise, it's about 10 in the morning at this point. You guys again are used to waking up with the sun, so you were up early, and it's about 10 now. Everyone's kind of finishing up breakfast. Some people are starting breakfast. You see there are definitely some early risers. There's some folks that are definitely not. And
So it's not a very regimented...
everyone seems to be doing their own thing. You see there are a couple groups that there's some sparring happening. You see some people are making their way outside of the cave. Everyone has their own agenda, but it's kind of like small groups. But you notice no one seems like worried or agitated or on edge. The pace is very relaxed. So you take this in, Gajua, as we'll see all of you eventually find your way back to your tent.
Yep.
And you know that Vendralian is apparently expecting you. So what's the plan?
Were we told just in passing, like, oh, he's over there in that part of the particular...
You see,
okay.
kind of, again, this isn't like a huge, cavern. Towards the back of the cavern, there's a larger tent, almost kind of think medieval, like with a center pole kind of design.
Okay.
Larger tent, and you've been told that's where you are to go. Is there anything else you guys want to do, talk about?
I wanted to know, I would notice his silver axe. That is...
It's very simple and functional, but it turned out pretty well.
Did you get a new axe?
Made it myself. I had a silver bar that I took from Woodage.
That is a very beautiful weapon.
Thank you very much. Hopefully it'll help us out a little more if we come into contact with those...
the doggies.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah, the doggies.
Or any other kind of magical beastie that doesn't like normal weaponry.
Alright. Gajil, how was your morning?
It was fine. It was good, Just sat here, enjoyed the cave air.
Well, I suppose now is the time. If you haven't gotten breakfast, now is probably the time.
I refuse to eat their food.
They had a ration.
I'm going to be honest with you. They don't have too much. They have eggs, but that is all they had. I mean, they had bacon. They had more cheese. Where are they getting this cheese?
Listen, I don't trust these people, regardless of how calm it seems. Their leader is a little, well, to put it frankly, I don't like him. So, to me, staying here is probably the best thing to do.
If you would like to stay, I can go with Jareth.
No, I'd be more than happy to go talk to him, just to see what he's about.
Well, I think he just wants to see what we're doing, what is going on. Now that the swampies are gone, and we're no longer in peril.
Well, maybe he can give us what, he promised to give us earlier. The information that we need.
Oh, maybe that is what it is.
The holy man told us to come to the Mist Grove, and now here we are.
I have no idea, but I guess we'll go find out.
My question is this, though. Jareth, how do you think he was connected to them, to these people, as I kind of wave, kind of looking around to everybody?
I don't know.
It's
I've
strange
never
that he
heard
would
it.
have something marked on his map.
I've never heard of these people before. We all personally met them. He never mentioned them when we were serving together. Mr. DM, is there anything I would recall from this, from the past?
About relating to...
About how my old liege lord was, if he knew of these Fletching people?
You could make a history check, I guess.
Okay. That's gonna be a 17 actually.
You don't remember him mentioning it.
I don't remember at all. It's kind of curious actually. I don't know how he would have ended up with a map marked. It's very strange, but it would. Oh, never mind. Let's just go talk to him.
Yes. Regardless, it was something I was thinking about.
No, it is good. It is good to ask questions. It is very good.
Maybe the smug elf will know. Speaking of which, let's go talk to him.
We'll make our way.
I begrudgingly get up
Yeah.
Yep.
and walk towards the big tent
Okay.
at the back of the cave.
Okay, so you guys make your way over there. As you do, you come to where you see the front flap of the tent. You see that there's a light source inside, giving off light. What are you guys doing?
I'll let you take the lead, Catman. You seem to be the most.
I'm going to open the tent, just like.
Oh,
Hello.
I do want to make it clear that I do have my hand on my sword at all times, walking into this tent.
Of course. So I say, as you are touching the tent,
Yes.
you hear a, "Oh, do!" and you watch as you kind of flip it open, kind of saloon style, just boom, busting in. You hear, you see Ranjalian finishing. Come in. Oh,
Yes, we're here now.
up and atom, I see. Welcome. I hope you all had a pleasant morning.
It would have been better with less eggs, but it was not cheese. I'm thankful. For
You see, just the interior of this room. It's about 20 feet in diameter. You see and you see there's a center pole that is holding up this tent. The tent itself is a green kind of canvas material, and you see the room is rather nice. You see that there are pelts that are kind of acting as like a carpet on the floor. You see it's almost like two crates that are kind of stacked side by side, with a larger piece of wood thrown over them as like a makeshift desk. You see Randralian is sitting very tall in a chair. He looks about normal height, sitting down, and you see he's looking towards you with a smile. You see on the desk there is various maps. You see there appears to be different papers, trinkets. You see like little baubles of like, you see there's like an hourglass, like just different, like think like desk ornamentation. And you see across the room there's a bookshelf with some parchments and other accoutrements kind of in it, and you see that there are two hooded lanterns that are lit, and they are lighting this interior. You see Ranjalian is sitting there, just sitting upright, looking towards you.
Before we begin, did I notice any decorative pieces, like any tapestries, maybe any pictures?
In here, you don't see any tapestries or paintings hung on the walls. The furniture there's a lot of stuff on it, but aside from that, there's not any like decor, like as far as like paintings or anything.
Okay, that's cool. All right, I'm good.
Okay. Well, I gather you've made yourselves rather comfortable. Jareth, I hope you found our facilities suitable for what you were needing.
Your anvil's shite, but it worked.
Well, we are looking to improve it. Anosio is quite the smith himself. Perhaps you two should get acquainted.
If we were staying here longer, but I think we're kind of wondering about some information we were told you'd have.
Oh, are we? Well, I was curious as to your business here. So, I think the best way to proceed would be, and you watch as you see one of his hands appear suddenly. Again, his long, almost alien-looking fingers are currently grasping a decent-sized arrow. You see.
Are there any rings on them? Any rings? Any bubbles?
They're not.
Okay. Alright.
You see this arrow appears to just be standard wood, feathers, but you do know that you notice that the arrowhead is the jade arrowhead. You watch his, he sets it, he kind of clears his desk a little bit and he sets it down on the desk. And he sets it down parallel to him and to you. And you watch as he places both of his hands on the table inside and he says, "Now, I feel that there are a lot of questions, and I think there needs to be an equal exchange of information." So, and you watch as he looks over, and you see now a figure you didn't see just kind of walking in. You see Nibs is standing, or is kind of sitting at the edge of the tent, and you watch as Rinjalian looks over. You notice him now, and you watch as Nibs kind of looks over and is like, okay. And you watch as he comes over, and he kind of stands at the side of the desk, and he kind of slumps his shoulder and he's like, "Okay, I'm present for the proceedings. You may continue." And you watch as
Hold on a second. Proceedings.
you watch
Some
as
sort of legal thing going on.
I mean, let's just hear them out first. I mean,
oh, are we not ready for business to begin?
no, I'm ready.
Yeah, we're fine. You can continue. We didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, how kind of you. Thank you. Well, Nibs is simply here to make sure that the information exchanged is equal. So, you may speak freely. Ask what you need. There is nothing to be concerned about. So, what questions have you for me? What brought you here? I am curious.
A holy man with a map on it. He gave us a map and it had a circle over the, the Western Mire and said to go to the Mist Grove.
You watch his eyes kind of widen. Is this one of the bright children?
I said something along those lines.
Yes.
I know earlier you had mentioned the pendant, because I had taken the pendant from the church.
Mm-hmm.
I think you remember. If I remember correctly, you told me what the god's name was.
It is either Pelor, the Dawnfather, or the fire god of kind of the Eastern Island.
It's like, yes, he belonged to this church, and I had to go through my pocket, and I have the pendant up.
You watch as he extends his fingers.
Sure, here.
He takes it, and you watch as he looks at it. Oh yes, from the nearby settlement with the ugly palisade. Yes.
Yes, that is him, all right.
On the wood's edge. Correct.
Woodage.
So I've heard it called. Yes, and you watch as he hands the pendant back to you.
Yes.
Oh, so you're not going to say that he gave it to you?
Well, we are having an equal
We're
exchange. are we not?
we're having a.
Let's not piss him off this time
Let's
around.
have a good conversation. I am going to.
Sorry, I just found it very interesting. That's all.
Yes, we met the holy man there. Jared had a Jared.
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about, Catman. I had a confrontation with him. I didn't get along with him.
That was what I was going to say. Is that you had like a comfort. You did not like him as much as we did.
Oh, you didn't, did you?
Rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, as it so happens, I do know this Sir Braden. I encountered him along with several of my arrows about a few seasons past. We had several members fall ill, and we managed to cross paths with him. He aided us and aided in their recovery, and I promised information, and I gave him our location as a payment of sorts, and should he need us or need information, I provided the location.
He didn't quite seem the healing type when we met him.
I requested if he could, and he told basically, well, he didn't say it, but his actions, he said a big fat no. And he said to come here. So, you must have some sort of ability.
Oh, well, Nib's ability, and you watch as Nib's kind of raises and hey, I can heal a few boo-boos, but I can't. I mean,
That is
come
very
on.
impressive.
Okay, but I can't, if you're sick, if it's something chronic, I can't heal that stuff. That's some I'll die. And you watch as
What's an Eldari?
you watch as Rinjali kind of holds up a hand. Thank you, Nibs. We do not have the capabilities that you are seeking. As far as disease curing, we have connections, but those are of a limited resource. So, Sir Braden, you come here in his stead, seeking information?
More or less, he gave us the map, and that was that.
He gave us the map. We need to find somebody who can cure this plague that seems to be going around. You seem to be having a bit of trouble with it yourselves.
Plague. Yes, it is affected. Its effect is widespread.
Aye, we need something to fix our little village.
Well, is that all?
More or less, yeah.
I believe I have an offer then. And you watch as he takes the arrow and you watch as he points it towards himself. The arrowhead pointing towards himself. I offer information that will aid in the possible recovery of your small, quaint village. I do believe I am in control of certain information which could aid you. I believe our paths are more intertwined than you may realize. I will provide this information in exchange for the favor which I owed Sir Brady.
Can you explain what the favor is?
I'm sorry.
The favour that you owed Sir Braden. What? Oh, you're... Never mind. My old brain wasn't working for a moment.
I'm offering... So, out of the game. He's offering the information in
I got
exchange.
it.
Okay. I just want to clarify.
I got it.
Yes,
That was... Yeah. Jareth had a brain fart.
Okay. I will offer this information. That makes us equal on this account. Now, as it so happens, I also am owed a favor, as I am currently in possession of something very precious of yours, Jareth. You see, a name in your world, let's call it, is but a trifle thing. Words are so petty and weightless here. Where I hail from, words carry weight. Your word is your bond, and things are not so trifle. Names are not so readily given away. And as I am in possession of your name, I would hate for it to fall into the wrong hands. So,
Was that a threat?
Not a threat, merely a fact. I offer the return of your name in exchange for a favor of my request.
Don't I have your name?
No, you have what you may call me, not my name.
It seems to be the same thing in my opinion, but I suppose if that's not the way your elf magic works, then...
Is this magical?
Let's just say that I have several denizens that hail from the Nine Hells that would be very, very interested even in a name as simple as yours, Jareth.
So this is a threat.
Not a threat, merely business is business. If the right offer is brought along, it is currency. After all. For, you see, gold and precious things, they're worthless. Information, names, knowledge, those connections, debts owed, these are priceless.
What do you want done?
Very well. And you watch as he points the arrow towards you. Do you agree to these terms? What do you have to ask or say before business is concluded?
I actually think there's a problem here.
Oh. Well, continue, Orche.
Alright, Elf. Here's the thing. I don't care about what happens in your world or not. But in my world, what you're doing is threatening us. You're strong-arming us, is what something else we like to call it. You see, it's when a merchant tries to make an unfair deal by blackmailing another customer into, giving them something for a cheaper price or for free. So here's my thing. Elf. We don't owe you nothing. We saved your lives, if I do recall. Which means that you should just give us the information that we so came here for. And now you're paying a favor to your Braden, who helped your men, which I see that are now dead in the mud. So, let me ask you this. How is this fair? Because it seems to me that what you're trying to do is a completely unethical and unfair deal. So, I'm going to bring you another offer. And that offer is this. We don't owe you shit. You give us what we want for saving your life. Everybody walks away scot-free, and we never have to see each other ever again.
Is that all? Is there anyone else like to throw in anything?
Just as a little bit of a response to my compatriot here. To be fair, the knife here did put us up lodging-wise and use of the facilities.
I would.
I feel like that's
I must say that I am on the side. I would be remiss to say if I was not a little on the side of Ghelfi. But I would like to at least hear what you would have us do if we do agree.
Very well. You watch as he spins the arrow back pointing towards himself. As to, your offer is not an offer. That is a threat.
No, that sounds like an offer to me.
Well, okay. Let me assure you that, I would love nothing more than for you to threaten me and agitate me more. I feel that I'm going to be generous. I'm in a good mood, after all. As to the owing, I don't owe you a thing other than the offer that Sir Braden has brought, which I have offered to equally offer the information which was promised him. You come in his stead. I offer the information freely. This is an equal exchange. Also on the table, I remind you, rather kindly, that I am in possession of a name which was not taken, but freely given to me, as a gift. I accepted the gift, For to refuse would be quite rude, wouldn't you agree? So, I'm merely informing you I am in possession of something very, very valuable. And should you want it back? After all, I thought we had a sort of accord. You seem to rather like it here. I'm offering the name back in exchange for a favor. And I'd even throw in possible membership. Membership, part of the Fletching, does have its perks. Heck, I'll throw it in to the pot. Should you return with this favor, I'll consider you part of our quiver, should you desire to join. And as far as whom saved whom, let me remind you, Orche, 6 of my men perished in the mud.
I want to stop you. I want to stop you there.
Your 3 lives, which, let's be honest, if I wanted to be rather nasty, I could say that I am owed for those 3 lives, but I've overlooked this, out of a kindness. Now, I offer this favor. You do not have to, but understand, to walk away from this means I am in possession of your dear friend, your dear, dear blacksmith's true name. And you would hate for it to fall into the wrong hands. Now, what say you to what I have presented? Are there any counter-arguments or threats that wish to be made? And he turns the arrow back to you.
All I want to say is that I just want to know what this favor is. I don't particularly like doing deals. I'm not one for business. Myself, I've been to jail many times. Many times. So I would just like to know what this favor is.
Very well. You watch as he looks to Gajili, looks to you, and Jareth looks to you, lies with his eyebrows raised, waiting to see if you have anything else to say.
Actually, before I say anything, I would like for you to answer his question.
I just got one thing. As far as the name goes, you can leave these 2 out of it. I'll do you a damn favour on my own. Get my name back.
You watch as he turns the arrow parallel once again.
Now answer the Catman's question.
Very well. The information. Do you want the information, or sorry, this is me asking out of you. Are you guys?
I want to know what the favor is, like the quest. Yeah, what's the thingy there?
Because we already know we're getting the information regardless.
Okay.
Yep.
So.
Well, the information is a bit tied with the favor. You see, our organization, you might call it, as I stated, we're outcasts, discarded members of society that are bound together with a single purpose. Knowing things, rumors, lies, secrets, debts, all of these things, these are valuable to us, even if society doesn't deem us very high up on their...
So you're a ring of spies is what you're telling me?
No, we are merely seekers of information. We take what is given to us and offer in exchange. And if information is presented, we take it. Because it's discarded. Who else needs it? We gather this information as we gather the information. We take what we know from specific points and we find connections. That is, the space between 2 points. And the funny thing is, the connections between 2 points often intersect with others. And those intersections, in those lie everything everything that we need. All the value that we need comes from them. Until, eventually, we have a full web of information. Forgive me, this is a bit of a initiation pitch after all. My point being...
I never said I accepted membership in this.
Oh, of course.
It's just sort of the
It's
formality.
just merely on the table. Membership does have its perks, I'll let you know. My point being, we have a web which, if tugged in the right direction, we get what we want and what we need. Recently, one of our arrows, who was on a long-range arc over a decade, managed to find information and come into contact with his mark. In Altare, the Sylvan and Fey establishment in the woods further north at the base of the mountains.
More knife use. Lovely.
Yes, more my brethren.
Out of game. How's that spelled?
Altare?
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. So is that actually the name you gave me?
Yes.
Really? Okay, I was just making sure.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. It's just the way with the accent, it just sounded different. So, because
Yeah,
you got Nibs, so it's kind of like this, and you got
Yeah.
and then you got Rendrali, and it's like, you know,
He's
yeah,
English.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
different
yeah,
between English and Brooklyn accent.
No, where's the difference between Elvish and
There's
Elvish?
a difference between hamburger and Hamburg.
Yeah.
You know.
Got it.
Tomato.
So you watch.
Yeah.
So continuing. This arrow was on an extended course and managed to win favor and became associated with the priestly order. For you see, are you familiar with the Tendancio? I assume not. The Tendancio lies up in further north in the mountains themselves, north of Altare. You see the my brethren, well, former brethren, are of a very religious nature. They pay homage to a something that fell from the sky millennia ago. They set up a temple dedicated to it up in the mountains. Annually, that is once per season, the high priests of the order are allowed entry into the innermost holy of holies in observance and to gain insight and knowledge. The reason that the knife ears, as you call them, it's rather clever, I like that. They are very advanced, and much of their insight and knowledge comes from these priests and the information they glean. Getting in is very difficult. It's a tough nut to crack, you might say. But we had one arrow who managed his way in. However, recently, with the plague, as you have stated, and this is where the information might tie in. With the plague, the annual season visit, let's call it, procession, was bumped up out of a need to seek guidance from the above. It was pushed up, and a majority of the cloth were requested and granted entry into the Holy of Holies, including our arrow. He managed his way in, and apparently, through what brief communication we had a wealth of information. He was on his return. Unfortunately, he was intercepted. The mist got to him first. So, I believe the answer to what you seek lies further north. For, I don't know if you've quite realized it, but this outbreak, Altare, Tendancio, is the epicenter it originated, whatever it was, from there. This I can confirm. This information I share with you. That is all I have, though. The main, what is important, is of most value, has been lost temporarily. You see, we would retrieve this information. This is our arrow, after all. We need him back. However, the mist, the mist has brokered deals and bargains with the majority of us, and we do not cross the mist. That is where you come in. My favor, and to gain the knowledge that you seek, is to return this arrow. If not him, at least the information he possesses. This information may help you in your journey north, and will help us as a quiver. Get me my arrow, our arrow, I hope. Bring back this arrow, or his information, and your name is yours. This is the information that I have.
Hey, that's a nice story. I only have one thing to say about it. I don't know too much about Elvish culture and how you handle prisoners and spies, but back in my day in the service, when you caught someone snooping about, you killed him so he couldn't get out with any other of the information. How do I know you're not just sending us in to find somebody who's already been long dead?
Well, to clarify, my brethren did not catch him. The mist caught him, and the mist rather enjoys the suffering of others, and...
Is the mist alive? Or is it an organization like yours?
The mist is its own entity. The mist is a being of... The mist is not to be trifled with, is all I will say. And you watch as, from his expression, you've watched from what you've known of him, Rendralian, he's very confident, but you notice even just a bit of a flicker of, he's watching his words very carefully. He seems a bit uneasy when discussing the mist. It's almost kind of like he's saying, the Dark One, or the Dark, like the Dark Lord.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's not. Yeah,
The
he's not.
thing that should not be named.
Yeah, he who should not be named, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell? I'll agree to it. Personally,
I want. I will. I want to put something forward before we do this. If I give you my true name, will you let Jared go, and we will get you your information, as it is mutually beneficial?
Make a persuasion check.
I'm using my inspiration.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
You do have it?
Nat 20.
Okay. A name for a name, you say?
Yes.
well, you don't need to do that.
And then, after we are all equal, I will go with them. We will get this information for the both of us. And then, hopefully all of us, outcasts or otherwise. I'm an outcast. I come from a place that did not want me.
You would be rather welcome here.
I'm not welcome anywhere, but beside him. And so, I understand. And you should too. And once we are done learning whatever this is that is harming our people, harming our lands, then then we can part ways.
Very well. You wish to exchange your name for his?
Yes.
I agree to these terms.
How does this work? I don't... You see, I had this very dramatic scene in my mind that we would have, like, with grasp hands and it would be, like, glowing and...
I like you. No, Fey politics are rather subtle.
That's
I will
boring.
simply ask. Well, we don't have time to go into all the idiosyncrasies of it, but
That's fair.
I will simply ask your name.
All right. And this is what I would do that. Hayako.
Hayako. Very well. Your name now belongs to me. Jareth. Your name is yours. Once more.
Now, Jareth, I wanted to tell you this. I didn't do that because I'm smart. I do a lot of things because I'm actually rather stupid. I take the initiative on things. But I want you to know that I see you as a man who was never given a second chance. You started a new life in Felding, but you were still always that man. Your name is your own. This is your second chance.
Thank you, Catman. You listen here, you knife-eared bastard. You may have his name, but I swear on anything that's holy, you do anything, make any kind of deal with any dark power with it, I'll personally lob those ears off your head, along with the rest of it.
As much as I would love to see you try, human, you have first dibs, and with this binding agreement, I will not reveal or relinquish this name until I have heard word of your return or your demise.
All right.
Hopefully neither happens.
I know we agreed on it, but in my land we do like a thing with our arms where we clasp them. Might you do that?
We're following your culture's
I mean,
traditions.
might as well. I mean.
Are we agreed to all terms stated?
I think you should shake his paw.
That means yes. I'm already sort of. I had my dramatic speech and everything. Please not. I did this with nibs.
This is the DM telling you. Is there anything else you want to?
No.
Yeah, Gajil's good.
Okay,
Well,
so
Gajil ain't good, but
I was
Ethan's
trying to
good.
ask that character, but
At this point, I'm both goofing and not in character, so
okay,
it's
I
like,
understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Very well then. We are agreed. And you watch as he extends his hand, and you watch as his fingers wrap around your paw, and it's very unsettling. And you watch as he shakes it very elegantly, and then removes his hand. And his hands, and by the way, his hands this entire time, you've never seen his hands for this extended period of time. You watch as they return to the table. Very well then. Our business is concluded. Let me know when you are to depart, and we shall see you off.
Okay. Yeah, I'm rubbing my hand like.
Right.
Okay. Do you have horses at all?
Aye, we have been walking. Might be a little quicker if we've got transportation.
I have these stallions in other areas, but the Maya, they don't travel very well.
That is fair. Yes, that is fair.
True enough.
I do have a pontoon you could use. It's rather crude, but we found them effective.
It'll work well enough for me.
That will.
Where you're going, the
That will work.
water level is agreeable enough.
Fine.
That works for me.
Are you departing currently?
I probably tomorrow. I do want. This is me in character, not in character, out of character.
Yeah.
I do want to go through and Are there vendors here? Or are there
let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and unless there's anything else you guys want to say real quick.
I would like to say one thing.
Okay, I was say we'll take a break and we can get back into it after the break. What's up, good Joe?
So before we leave, I guess we're all about to get up and head out. Jill's gonna look to her and Jolene, and you're gonna say, "Now, I don't agree with your elf bullshit. But there is one thing I can promise you. That the next time I see you, my fist will be in your face. And your teeth will be on the floor. And that's what we like to call a promise."
I hope you intend to keep it. You watch as he smiles at you.
I can almost do it right now if you'd like.
There's no need for that. Yes, I'm gonna stand in the way. No, there's no need for this.
You're right. I would absolutely decimate him.
I'm going to wave my arms around. No, this, yes, okay. Let's get out of the tent. I'm going to push him out. Yes, let's push him.
That was the most frat boy. I'm gonna beat your butt. That was great. I love good Joe. Okay, so as you guys exit the tent with everyone can okay, let's go. As you guys exit the tent, we'll go ahead and take a break real quick. I'll be back here shortly.
Woo! Break time.
Oh my.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Dungeons and Dread Tower update. This is Sean giving you an update on the tower, as is the segment called. Right now, I'd say the tower looks it's stable enough. Right now, I see several middle pools, which has been a good strategy on our part. Although there is one area I can see towards the middle, we pulled out 2. Yes, you heard that right. 2 edge pieces, and that's where the weak point is, I would say. But for now, it's stable, and we haven't made too many risky pulls, so we'll hope that it stays looking about like that.
And we're back. Okay, so you guys just finished your intense business with Rindralian. You now have left the tent. After shuffling out, you guys said you were gonna leave the next day. Is that the plan?
We want to go get supplies and stuff.
Get supplied up. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say it's getting close to lunch, getting close to midday. So what are your plans? What are you guys doing today?
This is more of a practical application of gameplay stuff. I want to see is there anyone I can does the group use money? I mean, if so, is there a place I can buy things maybe, or
does there appear to be some sort of market, something along those lines?
Why don't you all, if you want to take the time to look around, you don't have to roll, but if you're going to take the time to kind of wander around, you notice that there are some individuals that appear to have coin. You see that there's different trades that are being made. There's all kinds of business and bartering that happen here. As far as selling goes, there's not it's not like a town where there's a merchant or anything. But if you want to ask around and talk and barter with certain individuals, you certainly can. Just let me know what you're looking for.
Is there an arrow maker at all? Is there someone who makes bows and arrows?
Well,
I have a bow and arrow.
Funny you should ask. You note that almost everyone in this establishment has some form of ranged weapon, be it crossbow, longbow, shortbow, slingshot, sling, knife, dagger.
There's got to be an arrowsmith somewhere.
M1 carbine. No,
Oh, goodness.
You notice there's one character that has a really strange looking stick with a metal point at the end of it.
You know what an unloaded gun's called? A freaking stick.
Okay, so if you're looking for a Fletcher, it is very easy. You see, there's actually several individuals you see that are just sitting around making arrows. And you gather, if you ask the right person, someone here can probably either make you a bow or make you some arrows.
Great. I want to just go up and talk to them. I'll walk up and just be like, hello? I'm not from around here, and I would like to acquire a sort of ranged weapon. Is there any place I can go for that?
I mean, what are you looking for?
A bow or a crossbow, particularly.
Well, which one?
Either one works.
Do you want both? You gotta be specific, man.
I guess the easiest one to make, a bow.
Well, I mean, technically that's okay. I'll get you. You know what? I'll get you. You want long, short bow, mid range?
Just whatever's
Recurve.
easiest to make. A short bow would be fine. Just,
Short bow. Got it.
I'm going into a.
Hey, I need the twine or the. And you watch as he begins to walk off, and apparently a short bow is being constructed.
Okay, great. And then I look to one of the others and I go, can I acquire arrows?
For you, yeah, I guess. And you watch as he kind of reaches into he pulls open a flap of one of his bags. You see there's a quiver. You watch as he takes out a measure of them and then takes out one more and he's like, all right, this will get you started. And he hands you 8 arrows.
Great. I take them. And I just go, thank you. Is there anything you'd like back?
Nah.
All right.
You're part of the quiver, right? That's what your talk was about.
I was just asking for a bow.
Oh. Well, yeah. If you're in, you're in. So.
I will remain silent.
Make no, you
I will remain silent.
You gather that word is gotten around that you're heading out, and it's kind of a take and share and barter. And if you're kind of like, if you're on a specific mission, people will give what they can to help you. But within reason, of course.
Oh yeah.
Within reason.
I would actually like to see if there's an armor smith of any kind.
The only smith that you saw was the setup that you saw. You do see now, after leaving the tent, you do see that there is a figure working there, one that you saw a little bit earlier, veiled. You see a kind of heftier looking dwarf that is hammering away at something on the forge.
I'm gonna walk over to him. Hello, Master Dwarf.
Huh? Are you the greasy shite that got me forward started?
Well, if you mean scraped off the...
Well, it was downright kind of you to do that. I didn't have to do it myself. And you watch as he keeps going, working on whatever he's working on.
Well, I was just about to ask, you got any experience in working on armor?
You watch as he turns and looks at you and is like, well, depends, bastard, what you looking for?
Looking for a helmet.
Huh.
Something small, conical. Deflect, wounds.
Is your head not thick enough already?
Aye. Not as thick as yours.
Well.
Not as thick as yours or your belly.
Oh, that's a low one. Okay. Well, what kind you looking for?
Oh, you've got anything with a nasal bridge? A bit of a cone shape.
Alright. You watch as he hands you what he's working on. You mind quilting that for me? You watch as he kind of goes over back behind the chimenea as you quelch. You look down. You see he's working on just, it looks like a simple hatchet head that he's working on.
After quenching it and letting it cool, I'm gonna use the tongs and inspect it. If you set the bit in just a wee deeper, you're gonna get a longer lasting axe.
You watch as
it'll last longer.
You watch as he comes back from around the chimney, and you see he's got a couple of metal helmets under his arms, and he's like, "What was it you belly aching about?"
Oh, nothing. I was just saying, if you set this bit a bit deeper, your axes aren't gonna break
Come
off.
into me forge. Tell me how to forge. Anything else?
I know that. No, that'll be it too.
Well, here's what I got. And you watch as he takes one of them and he slams it on your head.
Oh!
Your head kind of rings for a second.
Bloody!
Fuck. That won't be too big. Yep. And you watch as he takes it off, and then he goes to put the other one on, and he stops. He stops, and he hands it to you.
Hey. This'll be just fine.
Right, nice one.
Alright.
Suit you better.
Aye. Looks like it's made well.
Okay.
Better than your axes, anyway.
Oh, well, take it as a thanks for getting it started this morning.
Aye, thank you very much, Master Dwarf. I'll be back to school you on your axe blades, perhaps sometime.
Sure, and I'll be.
Excellent.
You watch as he kind of gives you a clasp of the hand. He clasps your arm,
Yeah.
your forearm, and he kind of shakes it, and he goes, "Right, and I'll be here to ring your bell. Whoever out there doesn't."
You wish, Shortman. And he's gonna walk away.
I would like to do a few things. Just 2 little things, real quick. I would like to find. I don't know if I have to go to Nibs or somebody else. I would just like some extra bandages for the team.
Some extra bandages.
Yes.
Yeah. So you ask around and are sent to Nibs, and are you just needing basic like
yeah,
gauze?
just like gauze, things to bind wounds in case
Okay. He gives you the gauze that you need. A couple clean. We'll say just kind of rolls of gauze, and
Okay.
then.
How many would you say that is?
Also, he gives you enough to treat 2 people, and then he also gives you 2 treatments, and they're kind of wrapped up in these like waxed like leaves, and it's a salve that is kind of like a kind of like a neosporin of sorts, and that it fights infection.
Well,
So
that's good. That's good. Yeah.
He relays to you, so.
Well, that's good. Okay. I don't have to roleplay or anything. I'm just gonna have those.
Okay.
And then the other thing I was looking for. Just have to. I guess I have to just do that on my own. How much did you say it was? How many bandages?
Enough to treat 2 people. So
okay.
2 wound closure kits. We'll
Okay.
say,
Okay.
or,
Okay.
2 bandages. You get 2 band-aids and neosporin.
Oh God.
Okay.
Magical
the other thing I was.
Neosporin.
The only other thing.
That's a throwback. Wow. Okay, sorry.
There we go. The only other thing that I want is to have this. I don't think I do. Okay, then never mind. I don't need that. I do want to look into getting. Is there like hay?
Hey
Yes.
ho.
the
Like,
grass.
let's
Yeah. I'll say yeah. I mean, how much do you need?
I need. What I want to do is I want to turn them into small balls.
Okay. I'll say you can find some. Sure.
Yes. I want enough to make at least 5.
Okay.
Small, but the size of a softball.
I'll say you kind of ask around, and eventually you come to someone who's kind of still taking like a midday nap, and they just kind of pull some from their like bedroll that they have and just hand you
Okay.
some handfuls.
Okay.
And you acquire what you need to make these balls. Very curious. Okay, Gajil, is there anything you need?
Other than picking up my short bow.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so anyone else? Anything?
I just wanted to stock up on the rations, get it back up to 10.
Okay. Cool.
I'm just gonna grab my short bow, and then again we're not.
So as you, I'll say it's later in the evening. You've the 2 or the 1 individual comes up to you, and it's a guy in his like 20s. He's got appears mostly human, but he's got some like short, not like the long ears that you see like with Rinjani, but like some shorter tipped ears, kind of rugged, kind of dirty blonde hair. He comes up to you and he's like, "Okay, so here's your bow," and he watches. He hands it. He kind of holds it out to you, and he's like, "It's got the leather placing here. I would watch the draw weight on it. Make sure you're pulling it right. And you've shot a bow before, right?"
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, you'd be surprised. So I just thought I'd ask. By the way, in exchange for this, you're on KP tonight. So.
All right, fine.
Talk
I'm
with-
cleaning up.
Okay. You watch as he kind of grins and is like, okay. And you watch as he hands you the bow, and it's a pretty well crafted bow. You gather it was probably one that they'd already had mostly finished, and they just kind of
I should have asked for a longbow.
they They finish it and strung it for you. And if you want to do some test pulls, you can.
I do. It's being as strong as I am, it's pretty easy to do.
Make a strength check for me, could you?
All right.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll make it, but make one anyway.
Yeah, that's gonna be like a 14.
14. Okay, good. So as strong as you are, when you first pull back, you realize, wow, like this is a pretty strong draw weight. And then you remember, when you're pulling back a bow, you got to use your back and shoulder muscles, and so you do properly, and it's a piece of cake for you. So.
After I do that, I just kind of equip that. I'll just find a way of holding it. Does that like a sling on it or anything like that? That I can just put around my body? Or
Yeah, I mean you can throw it in your stuff.
I do that, and then the next thing I would like to do is I actually would also like to go to the smith. Again, we don't have to roleplay this, but I'm looking for something like armor-wise as well, like maybe
I'm hurt.
like gauntlets, something that will gameplay-wise boost up my AC a little bit.
What do you have currently?
14. I have studded leather armor.
You have studded leather. Okay, going up to I'll say. If you wanted to get, sorry, I'm trying to think with what they would have. You could get a chest plate, which would boost it to 15.
Okay.
It would be heavy armor, so you would have disadvantage on like stealth checks.
Okay.
Or it's like I think it's medium armor. It would boost your
It's
AC.
same as a chain shirt, right? In terms of
Similar.
Okay.
Do you get to add your dex to it as well?
No,
if I remember?
it's just
okay.
a set 15.
Gotcha,
All right.
gotcha.
All right.
Sure.
And then I don't add anything. It's just a 15 then.
Yes.
Ugh, it's only 1 point better than what I currently have.
It's still better than it's.
I mean,
You gather he mostly has like tools and weapons, and he makes stuff as requested, and he's got some older stuff from things
you're
he's
a big
made
guy,
from
so
people
that's
that
true.
have. He has one that's kind of it just kind of fits you, Gajeel. It's a little small.
Is there like a leather worker? I can maybe go get leather bracers or something. Maybe no.
You can. It's not going to really do. It's not going to gameplay like out of game. It's not going to do anything for your AC.
Gotcha.
If you
Gotcha.
No,
I'm good. I won't get anything then.
You don't want the chest plate?
Yeah, it'll just be 1 point above.
Okay.
No difference.
So you go and you look and kind of talk with him, and there's nothing that really fits you right, and you just kind of decide to stick with what you got, and the dwarf kind of slaps you on the shoulder and is like, well, you're a big guy, you'll be alright.
Yep. I'm just gonna nod at him, kind of like, all right.
You're a big one, aren't you? And you watch as he kind of just keeps looking up at you. You kind of feel awkward, and he's kind of looking up at you, giving you a hard time.
I'm gonna pat his head. I'm just gonna go, have a good one. I'm gonna walk away.
I love Gajeel in social situations. I love it so much. I love it. Okay, so as you all kind of spend the day gearing up, getting what you need, this community is kind of very much like if you need something, ask. And
That's
some
common,
people are
yeah.
like trading you for it. Other people are like, well, get me back next time. Do dishes tonight. It's a very much kind of like a. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. We all kind of help each other, kind of.
Yeah.
It's a we are family.
So we've done everything we need to do, correct?
Yeah, no,
Nice.
I don't really have.
Yeah, we're all good.
If there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and say you guys go to sleep.
I did do KP duty. I'll make that very
You
clear.
did. Oh, and Gajeel, real quick. We'll say this is the last thing before we go to bed. Gajeel, you dinner is very good. You watch as Renjalian actually comes out, and you watch as he's interacting with everyone, and
I refuse to eat.
oh shoot, okay. You watch as everyone is eating. There's a
Like I stop eating when Rendralion comes.
oh, okay, good to know. Everyone, as everyone's eating, there's a big roast that they're making. It's in a big pot. Different animals kind of been thrown in. It's kind of like a big roasted stew that they're making.
Almost like a potluck.
Almost like a potluck. Ooh, look at that. Looky there. And you see that there's some singing. They're generally having a good evening. around the big campfire. But as you're getting kind of sleepy, Gajeel kind of sitting there, go make a perception check for me, Gajeel.
Okay.
Okay, not to get too. I know we want to move on, but just because.
Bad 17.
17.
That's pretty good.
Okay. At one point during the evening, at the end of one of the songs, you kind of glance over and you note that Rendralian is staring you down. His eyes are locked with yours, and he's smiling, and he's just eating stew really slowly, and he's enjoying it. He's taking it, and he's licking his lips.
That's stupid. I
I get up.
He's just
I walk over to Rendralian.
Okay.
I
You walk over
knock the
to-
soup out of his hands.
You what?
Oh.
I knock the soup out of his hands.
Okay. Go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Oh my god.
That's not very good.
I'm not there to stop either.
Yeah,
so.
me neither.
So give me a
Back
14.
at the.
Okay. So you approach him, and you are attempting to knock the stew out of his hands.
Yes, very gently.
Okay. So as you go to knock it, you watch as he just kind of deftly moves it out of the way, and just looks up to you and is like, "Oh, is there a problem?"
I'm gonna headbutt him.
You go to headbutt him.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for initiative again.
That's a 24.
That might be his. Hold on. That's a. Ooh. Okay. That he rolled a 23, so he rolled one below you. So you're going to attempt to headbutt him.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Oh my god. What is going
Okay.
on?
That's not nearly as good.
You have extra attack?
Yes. You know what I want to use? I'm gonna pull from the tower.
You want to pull from the.
Yep.
I will remind you, being a friendly DM, you do have inspiration.
I'm gonna pull from the tower.
Okay. You may do so.
All for a hit foot on Rendralian. He really does not like
Wow. I was like, this is.
Oh yeah.
Wow. This is. I was not expecting this. Okay.
Gajeel really
Wow.
hates Rendralian. I don't think everyone understands how much
Clearly
he
does
does not
not.
like him.
Clearly, there is some bad blood.
There's some animosity.
Ooh. I'm. Wow. This is the most.
Okay. Well,
That was the most like.
That,
I don't want to
honestly,
say
that one was
petty.
one
That
where it
was
kind
just
of like
the
got a
most
little
like
yes.
walls
wobbly.
to the walls pulls. Like okay, yeah, you can roll again. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's bullshit.
What did you
I'm gonna use my inspiration. I'm going to hit him. I
you-
will hit him.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you use it.
See now, that's not any better. God damn.
Dang. Just
Okay.
Really.
God, so that can't. All right. So all right.
What did you roll?
It's gonna total up to a 12. I'm probably sure that's not gonna
Okay.
hit him.
So, as you, your head rushes towards him, you watch as he steps around you.
Mhm.
He's going to make something's going to happen. Does a 25 hit you?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I'm gonna roll some dice. Give me just a sec.
Oh, you're good.
This is-
Why are you rolling so one?
All right. Gajeel,
Mhm.
you take 38 points of piercing damage.
All right.
Where does that put you at?
8.
Okay. You take 38 points of piercing damage as you feel this very sharp burning pain in the back, in the small of your back. And then you hear this voice over your shoulder that says, "That's a wound. Stop this now, or this gets ugly."
I'm gonna turn my head towards him. I'm gonna say, "How about you drop your weapons and you fight me like a man, elf?"
Okay. You say this back. It is your turn. What are you doing?
Can I kind of shrug him off?
Can I?
He is not grappling you. He's just.
Yeah, we're back
As he
to
does
tent.
that,
Where are
I'm going
we?
to take
We're
off
back
my
to
sword belt,
Mm-hmm.
wrap it off. I'm going to take the
Okay.
Morning Star, put it with it, and my cudgel. I'm going to drop it.
Okay.
And I'm going to look at him. I'm going to pop my hands. I'm going to say, you can be a coward and fight me with your knives and your daggers. Or you can fight me fair and square. I'm not looking to kill, but I'm looking to teach you something.
You watch as Merjalian's face goes from there's kind of almost a playfulness to it, and you watch as his face just kind of goes almost expressionless, and he says, "Well, see, here's the thing. I don't fight for fun.
I'm not fighting for fun.
I fight to win.
Well, that's what I'm doing right now.
Understand what you're asking.
I understand completely.
Very well." And you watch as his hands are once again beneath the poncho, and he's just eyeing you down. What are you doing, Gudjo?
Drop your weapons.
You watch as he's looking.
I'm gonna make can I make an intimidation check?
Is that what you're gonna do? It's your turn. Is that what you're
Yeah,
gonna do?
I'm wanting to intimidate him, drop his weapons, and fight me fair and square.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, that's pretty dang good. 18.
18. Okay. You watch as his face just kind of stays the same, and he's just looking towards you, and he just is just standing his ground, and is just waiting for you to go.
I will not fight you until you fight me fairly, elf.
My weapons are stowed.
I would like to see them on the floor, just like mine are. It's only fair, isn't it?
Very well. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay.
The thing is, we know he has
That
daggers.
was
'cause-
not good.
Or he has some type of weapons.
I'm
like
trying to
that.
hang down.
So-
Sergio Leone style, like.
Okay, so
I am done.
at this point, I'll say you all are kind of notice that there's commotion, and you watch as everyone is kind of like stopped eating and is just kind of watching this kind of like showdown happening.
What in the 9 bloody hell is going on over there?
Oh, he's going. Oh man.
Okay, Gajil, you blink and you kind of suddenly see that there are 7 different weapons of varying sizes laid out neatly on the ground before him. You see daggers of different size. You see the small kind of wakizashi kind of blade. You see a scimitar. You see these weapons. You don't know how they fit on his person, but you just see them on the ground suddenly before him, and you watch as he steps over them. And again, his hands are beneath the poncho, and he's looking towards you expectantly, and says, "Are you sure you want to do this?"
Gajil takes his fists and puts it in front of him. He cracks his neck and he goes, I'm very sure.
Your move. Go ahead and roll for initiative.
Eee.
Wow.
Boy.
You mind if I test roll 2 of my dice here?
I should go ahead, man. Oh man, this is crazy.
It's gonna
Although-
I was not expecting this. I was like,
I'll-
he's gonna have a fun little soup moment. He's like, you can eat the soup. It's okay.
I'm gonna be straight to
This
it.
is
I'm
crazy.
probably not going to intervene
Yeah.
either
Wow.
because I mean it's not a fight
Not bad.
to kill. They're just
Not
beating the shit out of each other.
Not bad. Not bad. 16.
You
Pretty
wa-
sure he has a high initiative.
So you watch as he is standing before you, and you watch as he takes his left foot and takes a step back to where his like weight is evenly distributed, and he just is eyeing you. And again, you see most of the time you've seen Rendrellian, his face is very animated, very cocky. His face is expressionless, and his eyes do not leave yours. It is your
Yeah,
turn.
I'm staring him down. I walk up to him and I'm going to throw a punch. Just like
Okay.
create his face.
Do so with disadvantage, as he has taken the dodge action.
Alright. Alright. That's the first one. Oh, actually. That's not bad either. So it's going to total up, my lowest roll totals up to a 20 non-nat.
That's 20 and on that.
Yes.
That's you strike. So you deal 1 damage plus your 1 point of damage plus your strength.
Plus my strength, so that's going to be 5.
Okay. So you watch as how are you hitting him?
I'm hitting him straight in the face like I promised him. Right in the nose.
Okay. So you hit his face. You hear a slight popping sound as his face turns away briefly.
And I would like to use extra attack to punch him again.
Okay. Go ahead. Again with disadvantage.
Okay. Alright, that one might not hit. Okay, so that one's going to total up to 15. That's the highest it got.
Okay. So with this, how are you striking with this?
Again, another punch to the face.
Okay.
Kind of
So
like boxing
this
style.
time he takes the hit, and this one he sees coming, and you watch as he kind of weaves to one side. Again, his arms are not out, and it's very unsettling. So you miss with the second one. Anything else you want to do?
I'm just going to stay right up with him.
Okay. It's now his turn. Alrighty. Does an 18 hit you?
It does.
Okay. You take 4 points of damage as you feel a sharp pain kind of coming from your hip region, and you didn't see what hit you, but you just felt this sharp point of contact that almost feels like it struck a nerve. And you see his eyes are locked with yours again. You see there's blood dripping from the nose, and his eyes are locked with you.
Good. I'm going to hit him again.
Okay, go ahead.
On disadvantage? Or was that just turn?
No, this one is not on disadvantage.
That was going to be a 22.
Okay, that will hit. Go ahead.
Alright, so I'm just going to swing at him and try to get him again.
Okay.
I don't roll for damage, so it's a 1d4, right?
Yes.
Or 1 plus 4? So that's 5.
5. Okay, where are you hitting him?
Again, right in the face.
Okay, so you hit him, and his face turns to the side.
Good, you extra attack, I'm going to hit him again.
Okay, go ahead.
Wow, this is
Alright, that's an 18.
18 does not hit.
Dang it! That one comes.
So again, you hit, and he sees the second. You notice he takes the first hit, and he almost seems to predict the second one. He kind of slides out of the way. Anything else you want to do?
Nope, I'm just going to let him keep going. Fighting fairly. No dirty tricks.
Okay. He rolled a nat 20.
Yep.
If anyone wants to come confirm it.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Very good.
So you take 8 points of damage as you feel a sharp pain in your sternum. You cough kind of instinctually. Feel like you kind of can't breathe, almost like the wind got knocked out of you.
Oof. That's a big hit.
That would bring me to 0,
Mm-hmm.
but I have relentless endurance.
You do.
Which
Alright.
gives me
So
1 point.
you watch as your vision starts to fade, but then this rage bursts through, and you kind of were swaying, but you steady your feet, and you watch as his eyes are locked with yours. And again, you know there's no expression. There's just he's just eyeing you down. Gajeel, it is your turn.
I'm going to headbutt him.
Okay.
Any single time his face is close to mine, Gajeel is going to hit his head with his head, because he's a bull-headed man.
Oof.
Okay, yeah, that one's not going to hit. That one's going to be like 7.
Okay. So you go towards to headbutt him, and he just steps around you.
Great. I'm going to try and hit him again with extra attack.
Okay. Go ahead.
Nat 20. Confirm. If anyone wants to
Well
confirm.
done.
Let's
Well done.
see. Oh yeah, that is a very
Nat
fun
20.
one.
Cool. So you will double. So that'll be 2 plus your strength modifier.
2 plus my strength modifier, so that's going to be...
But he has improved critical, doesn't he?
I do have improved critical.
It's not a weapon. It's not.
No.
Well, we'll say it adds another. So it's 3 plus your strength modifier. We'll say.
Alright, that's fine.
'Cause you're an
So
orc and you're big and
That's
you're strong.
what? That's 6, 7? 3 plus 4 is 6, right?
3 plus 4 is 7.
I'm a fool.
3
No,
plus
7.
4.
Are you very in character with the math? Okay.
You see, I can play on who's smarter than a 5th grader.
I don't know about that.
All right.
So yeah, I hit him with extra attack, and then
So with is this a punch?
again I'm gonna punch him in his gut where his hands are.
Okay. So you watch as you go and hit. He managed to block some of it, and you note that it's a great solid hit, but didn't have quite the same impact.
And now I would like to use action surge to just kind of again take my other fist and punch him right in the mouth
Okay.
where he
Go for it.
smiles.
Yeah. Go for it.
Oh man, that is crazy. Oh man, what a Indiana Jones
I
fight.
want to pull from the tower.
You want to pull from the tower?
Yep.
Go ahead.
I want to pull from the tower.
Jeez.
All right. Could you go ahead?
Okay.
Jeez Louise.
Oh.
Ooh, goodness. Okay.
All right, I'm waiting.
This fight, this
I gotta need.
intensity, this is... I was not expecting this, folks. Listening, this is... other players being very quiet. We are all very, like, very nervous.
Yeah, we're a little.
DM as well. It's a nerve-wracking thing. Ooh, goodness.
I can't watch right now.
Alright. As you successfully pull... Ooh, that tower is leaning, y'all. As you successfully pull from the tower, Fate
Gently walk past
perhaps gives you another opportunity to make this strike, and your blind rage flying in with attacks.
Okay. I'm gonna test roll this. Is that cool if I test roll some dice here? I'm just gonna test roll all three here with my d20s.
Okay. Give me a test roll. Let me
Alright.
know when you're in action.
This is the actual.
Okay.
This is the actual roll.
Sounds good.
Decurse this.
Okay, not bad, not bad. That's gonna total up to 20 total.
20. Yeah, that'll hit.
Awesome sauce. So it's gonna be 5 points of damage because it's 1 plus my.
Okay. You strike him. He takes it.
It's right in the mouth.
Okay. Also, he kind of turns and
I want to take
clucks
some
him.
of his teeth.
You take him on the chin, not quite hitting like you want to, but a solid blow nonetheless.
Well, wouldn't you say since I'm so close, I could just hit him right in the mouth?
Well, he managed to reduce some of the damage, so I'm just kind of.
All right, I'll say that. Okay, that works.
It's like a.
He's got some cool abilities too.
It's like a jowl, like a goo.
Almost
Okay, I'll say it's a jowl shot.
He's,
and then
almost got like uncanny dodge or something, you know.
yeah, there we go. That's
Seems very roguish of him.
that's my maturing.
So as you guys are watching, you see this kind of. It almost kind of looks like it's kind of like the mountain versus the viper kind of fight where it's this big man and this figure's kind of darting around. And Gajil's landed some pretty solid hits, and you see that Ranjani's face is bloodied. You see that there's blood dripping from one corner of his mouth and his nose. He's got some bruising on his cheek. But you note again that his face is expressionless and he seems incredibly focused on Gajil, like he is his target. As everyone's kind of watching, everyone is kind of like watching this with this. Everyone stopped eating. Everyone is like silent as this is going on.
You think the big man
It
can
is-
handle himself?
No,
It is now.
You're like the two anime characters who are like, he's doing well, but he looks weak.
It is now.
He doesn't have the power level to
It is now his turn.
Yeah.
that's not what the scouter says.
That is a. Does a 16 hit you?
It does hit.
Okay. Once again, you take 4 points of damage.
No, I'm down. No,
So-
out.
As you you watch as you feel the sharp pain in your throat, and you go to you can't breathe, and your vision starts to fade. You guys watch as Gajil kind of staggers for a second and falls to the ground. You watch as Ranjalian calmly steps over, and you watch as he kind of rolls him over, and you watch as he takes his fist and he hits Gajil in the face.
I'm gonna actually run straight towards him. Like straight, I'm gonna try and blindside tackle him. Rendralian.
Yeah, roll for initiative, man.
Oh no.
Oh, dang!
What?
That's going to be pretty damn good.
My boy!
So that's a 14. Or not, sorry, that's 16. 16.
16.
Could he get
Okay.
advantage because he's focused on me?
Well, this is more of a.
I am trying to blindside.
Oh, this is advantage. This is
Who
initiative.
can
Yeah, that
move
is fair.
quicker.
That is fair.
So he lands one strike, and you watch as he stands up and begins walking away. What are you doing?
I'm gonna try and blindside tackle him.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage.
Because he's my friend.
No, that was unsportsmanlike conduct. That's what that was. So that is going to end up being an 11.
11. Okay. So as you rush towards him,
Very unspoken.
you grab him, but then you watch as he almost turns and throws you over his hip, and you kind of go ass over tea kettle, tumbling on the ground, and you watch as his attention turns to you, and you watch as you hear him say, Are you sure?
I was bloody uncalled for. You already had him down, you don't hit him again.
Oh, if you would have hit me going down, how many extra points of damage?
Yes, you have failed a death save.
I'm actually gonna...
He looks to you and he says, I fight to win.
Aye, that was a friendly sparring match is what that was supposed to be. It was like roughhousing. A roughhousing after a bar, you know, fun night drinking. That's what that was supposed to be. You weren't supposed to try to kill the damned guy. He's gonna walk over and like try and pick Gajil's head up and like start slapping him, try and wake him up.
Okay. As you go over to him, go ahead and roll death save for me.
Right.
Come on, lad.
Cool.
Come on, wake up.
Alright, that one's a fail.
Okay, so that's 2.
Yep.
2 fails. Okay. You watch
Lad,
as,
wake up.
As you're kind of slapping him, Vale. You see Rendralion. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Want to make a perception check. Oh, that's very good. Oh, wow, that's really good. It's over 20, so
Over 20.
yeah, it's way over 20.
You noticed Rendralion very quickly and just almost effortlessly stoop down, and you swear he picked up a weapon. And you watch as he makes his way over to Jareth, and he stands by you, Jareth, and you see a hand reach out, and you note that there's a bandage dangling from it. As he extends it to you.
He's gonna look up, he's gonna take the bandage, he's gonna look for any bleeding, or yeah, I guess you did get stabbed. He's gonna look for the wound where he got stabbed.
It's kind of in the small of his back.
So he's just gonna try and start packing it as tight as he can, start packing the wound in a little bit before he wraps it around.
Okay.
So he's gonna pack it, he's gonna wrap the remaining bandage around it.
Okay. I'll say
Hold pressure.
we're out of initiative. I'll say you take the time to stabilize him. Gajil,
I'm gonna help him up just to stay back.
Gajil, your eyes come back. You've got 1 hit point. Your eyes, as you come back, your vision is blurry, and as you go to, you feel like you can't turn your body properly. It feels like a really bad crick, and not just in your neck though, like your whole back, like your alignment, something's off. Like whatever he was doing, it really messed you up, and you're really feeling it. You're in pain.
Okay.
As you come to
Who has me currently?
Yeah, I've kinda got him
and I'm
framed
on
a
like the
little bit.
side. I'm not quite supporting you, but I'm like, hovering over.
I'm gonna call out to Rendralion.
Don't stress yourself too much, lad. You just lost a lot of blood.
Okay. You watch as Rendralion looks over to you, and then you watch as he turns and addresses everyone. Now, as arrows in this quiver, we find our mark. It is selected with dedication and with purpose.
Good, she's laughing.
It's hilarious, lad. Come on.
No. I pat you on the shoulder and I go, that was rather good skill, I will say. But next time, here's the thing. Cheap shot with knives don't mean it's a true victory, pal.
Just count your...
Next time, we'll start off with no weaponry. How does that sound?
Gajil, I'd like you to make a pull.
Let's do it.
Oh, here I got all this. No.
As you interrupt Rendralion as he's speaking, bloodied and in pain, as you are supported by your friends, will fate favor you in this moment as you are tugging at the
There is a
strings
good one. There is a good one if you lift up just a little more.
as you tempt fate,
That's...
hopefully for the better. Very intense situation over a bowl of soup. This is
really though.
very stressful as he is searching for it.
He's going. It's...
Gotta make the pull.
I don't like
As you very carefully. Ooh, this is very intense. Very intense pull happening right here. As you Goodness gracious. Alright. You do have... Goodness, he's trying to complete the pull, ladies and gentlemen. Can he do it? He's got to place it on top successfully. Oh goodness, this is intense. Ooh, okay. As you say this, Gajil, your vision goes dark once more. And you watch as Gajil slumps over.
Come on, big guy. You can't
And
do
you see there's an arrow in the shoulder, and you see
Which one of you bastards did that?
You see all members of the Fletching are now at full draw, and you watch as Rendrellian holds up a hand and is like, now, there's no need for that. And you watch as they all slowly, some are still staying at draw, but most of them go down. And you watch as Rendrellian turns to the two of you, still holding Gajil. As arrows in this quiver, we find our mark. It is dedicated and chosen with purpose, because the unneeded and unnecessary violence and shedding of life is not what this quiver stands for. We are the result of bullies, and I, nor any member in here, will not be bullied and put aside with wanton violence.
That's an ironic statement, considering what you just did to this lad. I'd call that bullying wanton violence. Come on, Vale. He's just gonna start walking towards the tent.
As you start to go, you watch as you go and there's people kind of blocking your path, and you watch as Rendrellian, I wasn't finished.
I think you were.
Just let him finish. It's the least, just give him at least that.
Hey, make it snappy, I gotta fix him up now. I'm gonna go ahead and break the arrow off.
We don't fight, because when we do fight, we fight to win. There is no compromise, no for fun. When we fight, when we loose an arrow, it finds its mark. I gave our friend this warning, and he went against it. I told him what would happen, and he did not agree. It was his choice. Therefore, I chose to spare it, as he does tend to have a temper. However, his life is no longer his own. His life belongs to me. I've spared it, and it is now mine.
You tricky knife-eared bastard.
Have a good night's rest.
Aye, not the same to you. Screw off, come on.
Oh,
Come on, Vale.
okay. I'm going to follow him wherever he's going. I do not know where that
I'm
is.
walking back to the tent that we had. Trying to carry however big
Okay.
I'm a big
Jill
man.
is.
I'm 270
No,
pounds.
I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you, because you're very heavy.
So I'd say we get him to the tent. I lay him out, spread out enough room to work. I'm gonna take off my bracers and, Vale, I'm not very good at this. I'm no kind of medic or anything like that.
This is okay.
Okay. Also, if you're going to take the time to stabilize him, eventually you get him stable, and Gajil, you kind of, again in pain, come to.
Okay.
Hey lad.
Did he
Lad.
did he have his dumbass smile?
No,
You're lucky to be alive.
He was bruised, and you're way worse, but
You still got a piece of jade or whatever it is they use to arrowheads. You still got it in you.
I look at my shoulder and I go, oh.
Aye, I ain't a surgeon. I wasn't going to try and reach in there and dig around.
There's 4 of you.
What were you thinking?
Well, he was giving me a bad look, making fun of me, and so, I didn't want to be bullied by him, so I decided to stand up for myself.
Sometimes the better answer is to run away.
Well, my friend, you might be right sometimes, but in my belief, and I'm trying to pat his shoulder, but I can't see which one it is.
He's going to just set your arm down.
In my belief, you stand up for what you believe in, because it's your values that mean more to you than anything else. Vale, have you always had 4 eyes?
Yes, I've always had 4 eyes. And
Get back on the sleep.
Is if you just go to sleep and I can show you them later.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
He's going to put a blanket over him.
Yeah.
Alright, what are you guys doing?
It's gonna be we're going to go to sleepy sleep.
Jared's actually going to stay up and watch Gajeel, make sure that he doesn't have any issues, make sure he's well hydrated.
Okay. So you guys have a long rest. And that was I mean, dude, that tower is looking real shaky now over a lot of ego. My goodness.
Oh wow, yeah.
Alrighty, so as you guys kind of come to, it is the morning.
Aye.
You note as you wake up, it's very quiet. You don't really hear the sounds of kind of movement that you heard yesterday morning. But you awaken after resting. What do you guys do?
I'm going to start packing my stuff to get ready to journey.
Okay.
I'll tentatively kind of tap Gajeel awake.
As Gajeel kind of wakes up, he kind of squints because he feels a sharp pain in his shoulder that he didn't feel last night.
Yeah, Gajeel, can you make a con check for me? 'Cause you got the mess beaten out of you.
Screwed up.
Okay, yeah, he's not doing too. He's just the kind of guy who, eight.
8, okay. You're walking with a limp. Kind of, again, where he stabbed you in those pressure points he seemed to hit, you're going to need to see a chiropractor or something, because you're in some pain, but that's not going to do a whole lot. Your speed is just a little bit slowed right now because you're having to walk with a limp.
So as he kind of gets up, he's going to be like, "Oh,
I take it slow, lad, and don't go picking any more fights today."
Yeah, I won't. Did you guys get my stuff?
Yes, I grabbed
it. You had your stuff.
I grabbed it, yeah.
Just 'cause I'm in pain and, I can't see and my eyes are closed, and he just kind of goes and he reaches for his sword belt with his, with the morning star and his cudgel and everything on it. He kind of puts it on.
You need me to carry any stuff, lad?
No, I'm good. Yeah. And as he starts to kind of walk, he has the limp, that little bob
Gajeel's stuff into his backpack. Jared's going to unload some of Gajeel's heavier things into his own backpack.
So you guys kind of divvy up your stuff. As you make your way out of your tent, you note that there are a lot of people. You didn't realize there were so many people could fit in here. You see that there are a lot of figures that are assembled around kind of the central campfire. And you see kind of one head above the rest of them. In the center you see appears to be Rendralian, and another figure. You see they're all gathered at the center. You see several people kind of see you coming out of the tent, and you watch as they kind of whisper, and then you watch as they kind of open up, and you see that they appear to be making an opening for you.
Keep your bloody orc mouth shut.
I take my fingers, I kind of put like the zipper motion across. Before that, I unzip it, and I go, the next time I fight that elf, you won't get a cheap shot on me with his knife. And kind of motion, and he kind of pretends to throw away the key playfully, and when he does it, his shoulder hurts. He goes,
Jareth's gonna look over at Vale. Vale, if it looks like he's getting out of hand, I want you to shut him up.
I can try. I know some moves that could help maybe.
Hey. So Jareth's gonna kind of lead the way into the.
Yeah, I'm gonna be kind of following, kind of on the side, making sure that Gajil's doing fine because he's limping a little bit and he doesn't have anything to kind of support him. So it's just.
Yeah, I'll just grab onto Vale, kind of walk with him.
Yep.
Hey.
I never roll for decisions, but this is important. So, as you make your way into the circle, you note that everyone kind of eyes you, and you watch as Renjalian looks over and sees you, and you see he's smiling. You note that his nose is a little bit bigger, and there's some purpling on one of his cheeks. You watch as you guys approach, you watch as he kind of nods to you guys, and then he's kind of smiling. All teeth intact, didn't manage to knock him out, but his lower lip, he's looking for you.
He looks like he got into a school fight.
Gajil, you're pretty hurt, but like, you got some good blows. That was good.
We're two kids who got into a fight in a playground.
You watch as...
I never thought I'd say this, but you look a mite prettier than him.
A shrug.
Well...
He said it kind of quietly.
You say it out loud?
He
No,
said
he's
it
kind
very
of quietly,
like,
just kind of like passing it back and forth, like
like
kids
I know,
passing notes.
Did you say it out loud though?
Aye, he did.
As you say that, you watch as Rendralian's like, yes, I do agree, Jareth. It's been a while since I've had a makeover. Regardless.
What's the Kumbaya circle for?
Oh, well, you all have a mark, and we're sending you off properly. And in regards to the previous evening, I'd just like to say, sometimes it's rather nice to be taken down a peg. And you watch as he kind of nods to you.
I nod to him, basically acknowledging I'll do that to you next time.
Okay. And you watch he says, but as even we have to have an order to things, I would like to affirm that should such an insurrection happen again, there will be no pulling of punches. Do we have an understanding? You watch as his eyes meet yours, Gajil, and again, you see, there's the smile, and the smile kind of fades into like not like an angry face, but just kind of like a stoic, like, certain face that you see.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but that sounds about right. Yeah.
Did you want an answer from me specifically?
No, as Vale, as you speak up, he kind of nods. Very good then. His eyes linger on you for a moment, Gajil. Now, you, for the moment, are arrows finding your mark. You will find the mist east of here. And you watch as he, I'm going to say just for story purposes, shows you on the map. Kind of marks the general location. Okay. And then he says, you'll follow the smell. The worse it gets, the closer you are.
That's lovely. Why's there always got to be a smell or a taste or a sight? Why can't it just be, go here?
Understand, the mist has a cunning of its own. It has the mist. You watch as he catches himself. The mist has... Watch yourselves out there. Everything that you say, everything that you do. Fighting your way out may not always be the best strategy. Deals can be made. The mist is reasonable. And the mist rather enjoys bargains and deals. Just something to consider. Remember, we need the information. And oak-wielding. The arrow. Any questions?
I do have one. Really quickly. Wait, no, I know you put it on the map. Never mind.
Yeah,
I was like, could you like point on the map? It was like, no, yeah, you for the sake of
You do the
story-
game objective
Yeah,
thing where you put
Look-
the marker on the map.
Look at your mini map to find.
And I'll say
the
he
quest.
relays directions. Again, I was kind of verbalizing some of
Oh
the
yeah,
talks
yeah,
about-
no, I'm derping hardcore, man.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
So, as he says this, he watches his hands come out from under the poncho, and you see the arrow that was on his desk the previous day when you guys were speaking. And you watch as he looks to all of you and makes eye contact with each of you and says, "May you fly true, my arrows." And you watch as he breaks the arrow over his knee and returns safely. And you watch as he extends the broken side with the feathers towards you, Jareth.
Jareth's gonna pensively take it.
Okay.
With temporeros.
What'd you say? I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
No.
Do I want to hear
No.
what he said?
Well, okay, I'm gonna say. Okay, a lot of things have been said.
This is really quiet.
I thought it was clever.
Many things have been said on this show that get you, that get everybody else.
Did you
that
got?
that got me, but I like it, baby. That's right. Say what you said.
I suppose we're temporeros.
Oh my! That's the group name. There it is. The temporeros. If we got anything out of this section, that's what we got. The temporeros.
Well, next time we see you, we'll be 3 men. I'm just gonna turn around and start walking.
Okay. As you all begin to depart, you watch as people kind of make waves for you. You watch as Nibs kind of watches you go. He sees you leaving Jareth and he kind of just winks at you. And then as you guys step out, you step out through the waterfall. As we, in cinematic cut, watch you step through onto this new horizon, carrying your friend, limping between that. So we will end this session. Ooh,
We're the
really
temporeros.
spicy. Temporeros.
Spicy.
I really thought that tower was gonna fall.
Oh, same.
again,
That
but I
last.
was like,
that last.
I'm a Jenga master.
was- that I'm gonna say it though. Like I was really. Y'all are gonna wish you had. Okay. I mean, it would really stink if you had to pull later on. And oh man, wow, that was good. Really intense.
It was a fun one.
Not expecting or anticipating. I wish we had like a. You know, those listening and everyone's faces, we were all just like so intensely quiet, just watching Gageo go into this. We were like,
Oh, no.
The
Yeah.
pole
I
cam.
was picturing like the Rocky music.
Man, that was
Stop, we're gonna get copyright
all
strike.
over a bowl of soup. Goodness gracious. Oh man.
Alright.
Well, that's it for today, folks. Again, follow us on social media. Dread Dungeons on Twitter. Follow us for updates and for memes and for fun cuts from the show. And we'll update you on when stuff's coming out. And we'll see you next time on Dungeons and Dread.